This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
Hi there, I'm Nohelani Graff with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona on a Monday. After a summer of high gas prices, state legislators now considering taking action on specialty blends of gasoline. They say keep prices inflated. They're going to be meeting to discuss changing the blend requirements, something some think will make out-of-state gas easier to get in Maricopa County. This summer, gas prices here often hovered $1 higher than the national average. Inflation is forcing many of us to find savings wherever we can, but a new report from Bankrate shows one place most Americans aren't cutting back: travel.
People are really prioritizing experiences. They have actually cut back on a lot of spending on physical goods, but when it comes to travel and dining and concerts and sporting events, people are still really prioritizing those kind of expenses.
The report found only a quarter of people are taking fewer trips because of inflation, while many say they're just looking for ways to spend less during their holiday trips this year. 16% telling Bankrate they're worried they may go into debt to pay for it all. Happening today, the state of Arizona is going to start auctioning off those shipping containers used in the temporary border wall earlier this year. Bids start at $2,000 per container, and auctions will be open for 2 weeks. New containers will be auctioned online every 2 weeks until they're all sold. You know, we've told you many times about passengers who are upset with airlines over flight cancellations, not getting refunds. So our Let Joe Know team is helping a Valley woman get her money back for a flight she couldn't take, but for a very different reason.
We get to the airport, we go through TSA, check in, we waiting for the flight.
But while Marlene and her father George had hoped for a peaceful flight from Sky Harbor to Ohio that July morning, it didn't happen.
20 minutes before the flight, my father, eyes rolled up in the back of his head. I thought he was having a stroke.
Her father unresponsive, on the ground at the gate.
Lip fell, he was slobbering, he was just down. And I'm like, no. They had to rush him to the county hospital.
After a few days in the hospital, Marlene says her father was doing much better. Her issue is not with the medical care, it's with Frontier Airlines and that flight they couldn't take.
Marlene says a Frontier supervisor gave her an incident number and said it would be in the airline's system.
So when you file for your refund, it'll already be logged in there.
But when she tried getting that refund of more than $600, Frontier said it wasn't possible to process, that the flight was not canceled by our airline. Further, Frontier says the flight has been marked as a no-show.
They told me that I never showed up for the airport.
Phoenix Fire Department records describe the incident, reports of George not breathing, then becoming responsive and transported to the hospital.
I gave them all the information of what fire department, which hospital. That wasn't good enough.
So Marlene let me know.
They're pretty much calling me a liar.
We got hold of the right people at Frontier, and their response was quick. In part, Frontier says, we regret any inconvenience. We extend our sincere apologies. We have initiated a refund for both customers.
They sent me my refund within 1 day.
Marlene got back more than $600, but says it should have happened much earlier.
I'm glad you do what you do, because if it hadn't been for you, would I still be fighting them to this day? Probably.
Problem solved.
Now, this should never have been an issue, but thanks to Frontier Airlines for stepping up. Go to abc15.com/letjoeknow and subscribe to our Scam Buster newsletter. I'm investigator Joe Ducey. If you got a problem, let me know.
The Diamondbacks' first pitch may be in the city of brotherly love, but the Valley is still embracing the chaos. Guy Fieri's downtown Phoenix Kitchen and Bar once again inviting fans to watch games 1 and 2 of the NLCS series. Party starts at 4:30 today and tomorrow.
Time for that most accurate forecast. I'm meteorologist Iris Hermosillo. We are in the midst of an October heat wave as temperatures soar back into the triple digits every single day this week, and we challenge records too. We started to warm this weekend after a couple of days with near normal temperatures last week, Thursday and Friday. We started to heat back up again Saturday. Yesterday, we added to our ongoing triple digit day count with a high of 102, and then we're going to keep adding to that count every single day this week. Phoenix tops out at 103 this afternoon, upper 90s to low hundreds in western Arizona and milder in northern Arizona too, with mid 70s in Flagstaff, mid 80s in Payson, and low 90s still today in Kingman. Triple digit temperatures every single day through Friday, even Saturday, before those temperatures start to come down and we start to see a bit of a change as we track our next storm system. For now, though, high pressure the dominant player, a very slight chance of a shower in the high country on Tuesday, otherwise a dry 7-day forecast.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, you can always go to abc15.com, or we invite you to download our ABC15 app. Make it a great day.